Princess Diana. Never in history have people loved and adored someone as much as Diana. The amount of people's admiration and love for Diana is timeless. Despite her death 27 years ago, people still visit her memorial park to pay tribute. Her genuine love for the common people and relentless dedication to humanitarian work earned her the title People's Princess, the title that will belong to her forever. The journey of her life was nothing short of a long, beautiful dream that ended too soon. She was a global icon of compassion, beauty, and elegance. She was not only a beloved public figure, but also a devoted and loving mother. In this video, let's relive the unforgettable legacy of Princess Diana, from her unstable and emotional childhood to her strong bonds with her siblings, her highly publicized wedding and divorce with Prince Charles, and above all, her unwavering humanitarian works that inspired millions of upcoming generations, and the tragic death that ended the beautiful dreams surrounded by numerous conspiracies. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. This video is a tribute to the Princess Diana's legacy. Make sure to watch till the end, as we've also covered the conspiracy surrounding her death. Diana Frances Spencer was born on July 1st, 1961, at Park House in the United Kingdom. This was the home that her father, John Spencer, and mother Frances Shand Kyde rented on the estate of Queen Elizabeth II. Both of her parents were members of the British nobility. She was the fourth of 5 children, with 2 sisters, Sarah and Jane, a younger brother, Charles Spencer, and another brother, John, who died in infancy a year before she was born. Growing up, Diana was homeschooled until the age of 9 and then began her formal education at Sinfield Private School in Norfolk. However, the school was not Princess Diana's strong suit. She struggled academically, failing her General Certificate of Education exams, known as the O-level, twice and dropping out of school at the age of 16. Many people believe that Diana came from a humble background. However, she actually had a privileged beginning. She hailed from a wealthy family with a noble lineage that spanned generations. Her family had close ties with King George VI, the Queen's mother, and Queen Elizabeth II. Queen Elizabeth II was her brother's godmother, and young Diana grew up sharing playtimes with Prince Andrew and Prince Edward. Diana also attended a school in Switzerland for 1 semester, as Switzerland had some of the best finishing schools in the world at that time. It was a tradition for young ladies from Britain to spend a year there, becoming well-trained to face the world. Despite her shyness during her formative years, Diana showed remarkable talents and had a passion for ballet. She dreamed of becoming a professional dancer but grew too tall to continue. Her ballet teacher, Anne Allen, reflected on Diana's time with her in 2017, saying, "She had dance in her soul. I realized the pure enjoyment it gave her. She loved the freedom of being able to move and dance. I could see it helped to alleviate her emotional life in the later stages." After graduating from Switzerland, Diana returned to London. There, she settled with 2 flatmates and worked various odd jobs, including babysitting, cleaning, and cocktail serving. Diana wanted to be financially independent rather than rely on family support. Despite her high social standing and influential connections at the highest place, by the age of 5, Princess Diana's home had become a battleground for her parents' marriage. She recalled traumatic interactions from her childhood. "I remember seeing my father slap my mother across the face. I was hiding behind the door, and Mummy was crying." Her parents' troubled marriage eventually ended in divorce when Diana was just 7 years old. Her father won custody of the children. Diana, along with her brother and 2 sisters, stayed with their father. The emotional turmoil from her parents' divorce significantly impacted her and her younger brother Charles. Diana often mentioned her father's infidelity and physical abuse as reasons for their separation. In an interview with the Daily Mail, she described her unhappy and unstable childhood, always seeing her mother crying and her father never speaking to her about their failed marriage. However, in contrast, her brother Charles revealed a different perspective in an interview with the Sunday Times. "My mother was in love with someone else and was self-absorbed in her own life's journey. She simply didn't leave room for the maternal guidance that could have helped our childhood." Diana's relationship with her father appeared to be a loving one, Her father later claimed that walking the princess down the aisle for her marriage was the proudest moment of his life. Diana and her brother Charles were truly the foundation of each other's lives through the dramas of their upbringing. He had to change homes at age 2 and was sent to boarding school at age 8. She explained in a recording, "I always looked after my brother. We had so many changes of nannies because our father was a very attractive divorcee, and he was good bait for somebody." At her funeral, her brother Charles gave a memorable eulogy and credited his sister for becoming a surrogate mother to him. Charles stated that Diana was the big sister who mothered me as a baby. He condemned the paparazzi and the tabloid press for their treatment of his late sister, infamously calling her the most haunted person in the modern age.
We managed to contrive to stop the ever-present paparazzi from getting a single picture of her.
In the end, the most hunted person of the modern age.
With the elder sisters, because of the age difference and the customary practice of boarding school for the aristocracy, her older sisters were away at school for most of her childhood. She recalled, "Their growing up was done out of our sight. We saw them during the holidays. I don't remember it being a big thing. However, as the sisters grew older, they grew closer and developed stronger relationships." Prince Charles and Princess Diana's relationship was often described by jealousy, cheating, and relentless tabloid attention, eventually ending in divorce. It all began with Diana's elder sister, Sarah, who introduced her to Prince Charles. Charles was 24 then, and Diana was just 16. In 1977, Sarah briefly dated Prince Charles. Despite their past, there were no hard feelings when she introduced her younger sister Diana to Charles. They began dating in 1980. Sarah later remarked, "They just clicked." They shared the same giggly sense of humor and a love for ballet, opera, and sports. At the time, Diana was working as an assistant kindergarten teacher. Their romance quickly blossomed, and in 1981, Charles proposed with an 18-karat gold ring surrounded by 14 solitaire diamonds. What are your thoughts on Diana and Charles' relationship? Let us know in the comments. The royal wedding took place at St. Paul's Cathedral on July 29, 1981. This extravagant event cost roughly $48 million, which would be around $156 million today when adjusted for inflation. It was a global sensation, watched by a record-breaking 750 million people. Diana's father walked her down the aisle, calling it the proudest moment in his life. More than 3,500 high-profile guests attended the wedding, including royalty, celebrities, public figures, diplomats, and politicians from around the world. The event was loosely nicknamed the Wedding of the Century. Around 600,000 spectators lined the streets of London to catch a glimpse of the royal couple. Diana's wedding had a lasting impact, inspiring girls worldwide to dream of their own fairy tale weddings. However, many may not know this due to Prince Charles's ongoing relationship with Camilla Shand. Diana reportedly wasn't convinced that her marriage to Charles was a good idea and gave serious consideration to calling off the marriage, and had a serious discussion with her sister Sarah the day before the wedding. In a revealing interview with Andrew Morton for his 1992 book Diana, Her True Story, she confessed, "I remember being so in love with my husband that I couldn't take my eyes off him. I absolutely thought I was the luckiest girl in the world, and he was going to look after me." Despite its fairy tale appearance from the outside, it is far from a Disneyland tale. According to reports, the trouble started even before their marriage. Even in the early days of the wedding, Prince Charles was seeing his longtime girlfriend Camilla Shand. In an interview with astrologer Penny Thornton, he claimed, "One of the most shocking things that Diana told me was that the night before the wedding, Prince Charles told her that he didn't love her." Thornton believes that Charles did not want to go into the wedding with a false expectation for Diana. He wanted to be honest with her, but it was devastating for Diana. Many sources from the close circle revealed that pressure from the prince's father, Prince Philip, on inheriting the royal bloodline for Legacy played a crucial role in pushing Prince Charles into the marriage, even though he was not fully ready to settle. Bedell Smith, the writer of the book Prince Charles: The Passions and Paradoxes of an Improbable Life, wrote that by the honeymoon, their relationship had soured further. Diana would weep in her bedroom and skip dinner with the Queen and family, suffering from insomnia and growing thinner by the day. She showed increasing signs of eating disorders and tendencies for self-harm. 4 months into the marriage, the couple announced the pregnancy news. On June 21, 1982, Prince William was born. However, 12 weeks into the pregnancy, Diana fell down the staircase and suffered a minor bruise. Diana later confessed that she had intentionally thrown herself down the stairs because she was feeling so inadequate. 2 years later, their second son, Harry, was born on September 15, 1984. Diana later said that she and Charles were closest during her pregnancy with Harry. She knew their second child was a boy but did not share the knowledge with anyone else, including Charles, because he was hoping for a girl. 5 years into the marriage, the couple's incompatibility and age difference became visible and damaging. In 1986, Diana began a relationship with James Hewitt, the family's former riding instructor. In the same year, Charles resumed his relationship with his former girlfriend, Camilla Shand. The inevitable occurred on December 9, 1992, when they amicably separated but committed to fully participating in the upbringing of their children. On June 29, 1994, Prince Charles sat down for an interview with Jonathan Dimbleby, where he admitted to cheating on Princess Diana, stating that the marriage had become irretrievably broken down. Years later, on November 20, 1995, Princess Diana sat down for an interview with Martin Bashir. She spoke of her unhappiness and her eating disorder, and admitted to being unfaithful to Charles. After years of wrangling between lawyers, the divorce between Prince Charles and Princess Diana was finally granted on July 15, 1996. Following her divorce, Diana dedicated herself to her sons and various charitable causes. She worked tirelessly to raise awareness about the dangers of leftover landmines in war-torn areas, advocated for HIV/AIDS awareness and support, promoted mental health advocacy, and campaigned for cancer, heart disease, and leprosy awareness. In 1995, amidst her marital struggles, Diana met British-Pakistani heart surgeon Hasnat Khan while visiting a sick friend in the hospital. Their connection was instant, and they embarked on a secret 2-year relationship. However, due to Khan's demanding work schedule, the relationship eventually came to an end in late July 1997. Despite rumors and speculation, the reasons for their breakup remain ambiguous. Renowned royal biographer Wade shared insights, revealing Diana's desire to marry Khan, contrasting with Khan's reluctance to be in the limelight as a partner to a famous woman. Following her split from Khan, Diana found companionship with Egyptian millionaire Dodi Fayed. Their paths had crossed years earlier during a polo match between Dodi's team and Diana's then-husband, Prince Charles, at Windsor Great Park. In the aftermath of Diana's tragic passing, many of her closest friends revealed that Hasnat Khan was the love of her life. Their love story is depicted in the 2013 Hollywood film Diana, starring Naomi Watts.
I'm in love with a heart surgeon. Don't think I've ever been so struck by someone.
If your feelings are this strong, he will feel the same.
Where are we going?
To the very edge.
Despite the highs and lows of her romantic life, Diana's enduring legacy as the People's Princess continues to inspire millions around the globe. Never in history has someone captured the world's heart quite like Princess Diana. Affectionately known as the People's Princess, her impact transcended royalty, forging deep connections with people worldwide. Princess Diana dedicated herself to numerous charitable causes, particularly focusing on AIDS awareness, landmine prohibition, poverty alleviation, and destigmatizing mental illness. Despite facing personal challenges, including a highly publicized divorce from Prince Charles, she remained committed to her philanthropic works. Her profound empathy led her to champion causes often overlooked by traditional royal involvement. Stephen Lee, director of the UK Institution of Charity Fundraising Manager, aptly remarked, her overall effect on charity is probably more significant than any other person in the 20th century. Diana's activism took her to South Africa, where she collaborated with President Nelson Mandela on HIV/AIDS initiatives. Mandela praised her compassionate approach, noting how she reshaped public perceptions and brought solace to those affected by illness. In 1997, a powerful image of Princess Diana visiting an Angola minefield and comforting young landmine survivors captivated the world. Her advocacy played a pivotal role in the Ottawa Treaty, leading to a global ban on anti-personnel landmines. After Diana's death, the international campaign to ban landmines received the Nobel Peace Prize, a testament to Diana's enduring legacy. She also made a groundbreaking gesture in 1987 that challenged the stigma surrounding HIV/AIDS. During a visit to a hospital in London, she shook hands with an AIDS patient without wearing gloves. At the time, there was widespread fear and misinformation about how HIV/AIDS could be transmitted, with many believing it could be contracted through casual contact. Her devotion to humanitarian causes extended to her sons, as she introduced them to charitable work from a young age. Prince William fondly recalled her influence, stating, "My mother introduced that sort of area to me a long time ago. It was a real eye-opener, and I am very glad she did." Princess Diana's spirit lives on through the ongoing efforts of organizations she supported, exemplifying her timeless compassion and commitment to making a difference in the world. Which of Diana's humanitarian efforts do you find most impactful? Let us know in the comments. As Diana spent more time with her new boyfriend Dodi Fade, the paparazzi pursued the couple, who could not go anywhere without cameras following close behind. In the early hours of August 31st, 1997, the paparazzi followed the couple after they had dined at the Ritz Hotel in Paris. The combination of the pursuing paparazzi, driving at high speed, and having a drunk driver behind the wheel all played crucial roles in the accident that took the life of Princess Diana at a very young age, along with the driver and her boyfriend Dodi Fade. The driver and Dodi died at the scene, and Princess Diana was alive when a team of 10 men made it to the crash site just a minute after the accident. Xavier Gormelin, who was part of a 10-man team, later told in an interview, "She was moving very slightly, and I could see she was alive. I tried to calm the agitated Diana." He recalls that whole episode, and the memory of that night is still very much in his mind and will stay with him forever. The team took her out of the car and put her on a stretcher, and at that moment, the doctor said she was in cardiac arrest. So they gave her CPR, and 20 seconds later, she regained consciousness, and they transferred her to the ambulance, which took around 2 hours to reach the hospital. Unfortunately, around 4:30 a.m., British Foreign Secretary Robin Cook announced the untimely death of People's Princess at the age of 36 and commented, "I am greatly shocked by this news. Our first thoughts must be with her children and family at this time of immense loss to them." And the world woke up with the shocking news about the death of their princess at a very young age.
Good evening. The People's Princess is dead across the country, across the world. Millions are trying to come to terms with the awful tragedy of Diana's untimely death.
Princess of Wales has died after a car crash in Paris.
According to doctors at the hospital in Paris, Diana, Princess of Wales, is dead.
The world mourned for their princess with an outpouring of love and flowers. People waited up to 8 hours to sign condolence books at St. James Palace, and 100,000 people per day passed through Kensington Place, where Diana lived. Queen Elizabeth II went on a rare live television the day before the funeral and stated, "As your queen and as a grandmother, I wanted to pay tribute to Diana myself. She was an exceptional and gifted human being. In good times and bad, she never lost her capacity to smile and laugh, nor to inspire others with her warmth and kindness."
As your queen and as a grandmother, I say from my heart, first, I want to pay tribute to Diana myself. She was an exceptional and gifted human being, In good times and bad, she never lost her capacity to smile and laugh, nor to inspire others with her warmth and kindness.
Where were you when you heard about Diana's tragic death? Share your memories in the comments. Well, Princess Diana's tragic death in a car crash in Paris sparked numerous conspiracy theories and allegations of foul play.
Assassins, SAS, SBS troops and their bikes do the job, gone in seconds.
There's no doubt about it in my mind, none whatsoever. She was definitely murdered.
Some claimed the crash was an arranged assassination by the British royal family or intelligence services due to Diana's strained relationship with the royals. Others alleged the paparazzi were actively involved, either causing the crash or failing to help afterwards. The public outpouring of grief and anger after Diana's death was immense, with demands for a full investigation into the circumstances surrounding the crash.
The whole thing was a conspiracy, it was never an accident, like the whole lot was planned. She was just too good for them and had to get rid of her because she was like the people's princess.
The initial French judicial investigation concluded it was simply a tragic accident caused by the intoxicated driver and pursuit by the paparazzi. Finally, the 2008 British investigation delivered a verdict of unlawful killing through grossly negligent driving by both the limo driver and paparazzi pursuers. What do you think about the conspiracy theories surrounding Diana's death? Let us know in the comments. Princess Diana's funeral was held on September 6, 1997, 6 days after her tragic death in a car accident in Paris. The funeral was attended by 2,000 people, including members of the royal family, world leaders, and celebrities. Over 1 million people lined the route to pay their respects, and it was watched by an estimated 2 billion viewers worldwide, making it one of the most watched live events in history, and the funeral remains one of the most memorable events of the 20th century. The public reaction to Diana's death was unprecedented, with people leaving flowers, cards, and tributes outside Kensington Palace and other locations. The emotional impact on the public reflected Diana's deep connection with people around the world. One of the most memorable events from Princess Diana's funeral was the thundering funeral speech delivered by Diana's brother Earl Spencer. He praised Diana's vulnerability and pride in being a good and loving mother to her sons William and Harry, and made implicit criticism of the royal family. He said, Diana needed no royal title to generate her particular brand of magic. He also condemned the paparazzi and the tabloid press for their ill treatment of his late sister, infamously calling her the most haunted person in the modern age. The funeral speech was praised by many for giving voice to public anger over Diana's treatment. After the public ceremony, Diana was laid to rest privately on an island at her family's estate in Althorpe. The island, located in the middle of a serene lake, was chosen for its privacy. Since her burial, the site has become a place of pilgrimage for those wishing to pay their respects. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave your comments and share it with others. You'll find links to books about Princess Diana in the description below, so don't forget to check them out. See you in the next video.